Hi, this is Mato. Welcome to my online chess lecture. In this video I will show you a game between DeepMind and Stockfish. This is the game 3 from the match. DeepMind, AlphaZero, had white pieces and the game started with knight to f3. Stockfish played knight to f6, c4, b6, going for the Nimzowitsch defense. d4, e6, g3, bishop to a6, queen to c2, c5, d5, e takes on d5, c takes on d5. Black to move. Bishop to b7 was played. If knight takes on d5, then queen to e4 check, and if bishop to e7, queen takes on d5, and if knight to e7, queen takes rook. Back to our game. Bishop to b7 attacking the pawn. How to protect the pawn? DeepMind played bishop to g2, sacrificing the pawn. Knight takes on d5, DeepMind castle kingside, knight to c6. White to move, perhaps a3 comes to mind, taking the control of b4 square. Rook to d1 was played. Bishop to e7, not interested in a knight from c to b4. Bishop to e7, queen to f5, knight to f6, e4, g6, queen to f4, and Stockfish castled kingside, e5 attacking the knight, knight to h5, queen to g4. Black to move. Rook to e1 was played. There was another game between Carlsen and Ivanchuk. Ivanchuk played d5, and after e takes on d6, en passant, bishop to f6, knight to c3, knight to d4, knight takes on d4, bishop to g2. Carlsen played not king takes bishop, but knight to f5. And Carlsen went on to win the game in a great style. But this is a game for another time. Back to our game. Rook to e8. Knight to c3, queen to b8, threatening to win the pawn on e5. How to defend the pawn? Knight to d5 was played. Bishop to f8. If knight takes on e5, knight takes on e5, queen takes on e5. Knight takes bishop, check. Rook takes on e7, bishop takes on b7, and white wins the piece. Bishop to f8, removing the target. Bishop to f4, defending the pawn, threatening e6. Queen to c8. White move. h3 was played. This must be a deep move. On the surface, it's not clear why DeepMind played this. Knight to e7. Knight to e3. Bishop to c6. 20 moves have been played. And engine evaluation is that black is better. This is engine's evaluation, not DeepMind's evaluation. Rook to d6. Knight to g7. Rook to f6. This is a very interesting position of the rook, isn't it? Queen to b7. Knight to e6 looks like an interesting move. Do you agree? Back to our game. Queen to b7 was played. Bishop to h6. Knight to d5. Knight takes on d5. Bishop takes on d5. 25 moves have been played. An engine evaluates this game as better for black. I wonder what is DeepMind's evaluation. Probably they disagree about evaluation, because black is somewhat squashed. The game continued. Rook to d1, knight to e6, bishop takes on f8, rook takes on f8, queen to h4, bishop to c6, queen to h6. White is obviously enjoying the space advantage. But how to make the progress? Rook from a to e8, rook to d6, bishop takes on f3. Naturally, if you have less space, exchange pieces. Bishop takes on f3, and now queen to a6, allowing rook takes pawn on d7. h4 was played. Surely humans would consider rook takes on d7. Looks like an obvious move. But then black may continue with something like queen to a4, and if rook to d6, queen to b4, or even rook to d8. Okay, back to our game. DeepMind not interested at all in winning a pawn. h4 was played. Queen to a5, intending queen to e1 check perhaps. Rook to d1, c4, rook to d5, queen to e1. As you can see, Stockfish was not interested in winning another pawn. Queen to e1 check, king to g2, c3, b takes on c3, queen takes on c3, h5, rook to e7, bishop to d1, intending bishop to b3, queen to e1, bishop to b3, rook to d8, rook to f3, queen to e4, queen to d2, queen to g4, bishop to d1 defending the pawn on h5, queen to e4. If queen takes on h5, rook takes on f7, and white is winning. Queen to e4. h6, this is an interesting decision. Perhaps h takes on g6 would be considered by some players. h6, knight to c7, rook to d6, knight to e6, bishop to b3, queen takes pawn on e5. Stockfish won another pawn. Rook to d5, attacking the queen. This is very interesting moment of the game. This must be the critical position of the game. Black to move. Stockfish played queen to h8. Perhaps most humans would not play this move. Queen to c7 looks like a much better spot for the queen. What do you think? So, the move played in the game looks totally wrong. And Black King must be asking a question. What is a lady like you doing on a square like this? The game continued. Queen to b4, knight to c5, white to move. What would you do? DeepMind sacrificed the exchange. Rook takes on c5, pawn takes on c5. Perhaps queen takes pawn was expected. Queen to h4 was played. Rook from d to e8, rook to f6, rook to f8, queen to f4. Stockfish is tied up in a knot. a5, g4, d5, bishop takes on d5, rook to d7, bishop to c4. Thanks to the queen in the corner, black is lost. Why Blake didn't resign? Well, Stockfish team told Stockfish that this game would be shown on the YouTube, and therefore this game must be played as long as possible. No animal rights for Stockfish. a4, g5, a3, queen to f3, rook to c7, queen takes on a3. Stockfish had enough, lost control, and played queen takes rook on f6. Pawn takes queen, rook from f to c8, queen to d3, rook to f8, queen to d6, rook from f to c8, white to move. DeepMind played a move and Stockfish resigned. The move is a4. Stockfish resigned. For the entertainment purpose, I will show you just one line. Rook to a7, a5. Rook takes pawn on a5. Black may as well lose in style. Bishop takes on f7 check. King takes bishop. Queen to e7 check. King to g8. And there is checkmate in one. Queen to g7. Checkmate. And let's go back to this critical position of the game. This is the position. In this position, after queen to h8, it feels like that Stockfish wanted to lose on purpose. But this is just how it feels like to me. I may be wrong. What do you think of this move? What do you think of this game? And that is all. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I wish you good luck with your chess, and bye for now.